Alright, we're going to be kind of quick with this, but these are two things I'm looking at. This Toro Workman 4300 four-wheel drive. Poor condition for seat-wise. But not too bad. Bed's a little rusty, but not crazy. And then this John Deere Gator. I brought a key for it. I didn't bring one for the Toro because I thought they said it had a key with it. So that's not too big of a deal if I can't get a key, but I can get one for sure. Tires are pretty decent on it. Front tires still holding air. All the tires are pretty nice. Seats gone, like shot. Fuel tank looks not too bad. Sorry guys. Radiator. It still has coolant in it. Yep, smells like coolant. Dash doesn't work. None of this is turning on with the ignition. I think something's wrong with the wiring. Fuse or something like that. It's not getting power to it. This fender is gone. That fender's completely gone. The hood, you can see it's a university thing. It's trashed. Someone destroyed it. But that's $300 there. $200 in seats. Plus maybe another $200 in those fenders. And this thing's actually in good condition. Decals are there, tires are there. It's not too bad, not much rust. Really good quality little thing. This thing's in worse condition, but I think this thing's got 3,400 hours on the diesel engine, and I think it's a Mitsubishi diesel. And the worst part is about this. You'll notice drive shaft right there. It's missing on this side. So I have to figure that out and see if I can even get parts for that, because it needs it. As you can see, it just sheared and sheared the U-joint, which I think they're possible to come by. The cool thing about it is it's a four-wheel drive. Yeah, tree. Four-wheel drive. It's got hydraulic dump bed from the cylinders, as you see, and it's like a little Mitsubishi diesel. So I like diesels. So yeah, it's got a 3-speed manual transmission. Looks like it can get up to like 40 miles an hour almost. So high speed, low speed, hand throttle, foot throttle, turn signals, blinkers, headlights, taillights, parking brake, diff lock. I mean, this thing's a pretty nice little machine. Just needs love. I don't know, I could recover these seats with new foam, cover the back seats with new foam, just fix a few things on it, and man, this thing's like a couple grand least piece of crap. So these are the two things we're bidding on. Hopefully they go cheap, because right now this is at $335 for this, and that's at like 80. Only thing I know with John Deere's are people love John Deere, and fairly certain if I do this right, I can fix the issue easily. So I'm not crazy concerned. That tire has no air. Not concerned with it. I don't. There is no fuel in there. Looks like the fuel level gauge is messed up. The choke lever is seized, per usual. I think I've gotten 2 of these before, and they both been seized. Little Kawasaki engine looks in pretty good condition. I think it's a 2002 based off the serial number for this John Deere. So, with that being said, I'm going to call it for the night. Bidding ends. Bidding ends in, today's Tuesday. It ends Thursday evening at 6. So, I'm going to try to do some screen recording while we bid on these things, so that way you guys can see the process. It does also have diff lock and shifter, which is nice. Parking brake, gas pedal, I mean, it's a nice little UTV. It's got the hour gauge. I just got to figure out how to put 12 volts to it. So maybe later. So peace.
Alrighty, guys. So we only won this. The Toro went for way more than I expected. I think it ended up at like $1,600 before fees, which is insane. This thing ended up $1,000. It was like $998.98, all said and done after taxes, fees, and everything on it. You can see, I mean, as you saw in the earlier video, I mean, the seats are gone. There's the wiring underneath the dash isn't right. The choke levers seized up, but and these fenders are gone. These are cracked. The hood's damaged. But it's got a bed liner. The tailgate's missing, but that's fine. No one cares too much about the tailgate. Plus, they rattle like a son of a gun as always. The engine, transmission look okay. I don't know. They had oil in them. They were pretty solid. Tires kind of hold air. This is the only one that isn't holding air. And as you can tell from the crackage, it's probably due for a new tire. So we might replace the front one on that side and this one. Even though I think this is different size than that one. Whatever. We'll figure it out later. It could be this one's flat. Gas tank has nothing in it. Even though gas gauge says full. Choke lever is seized, as I mentioned before. But steering works. Tires are pretty decent overall. We're going to get this off with our little Bobcat Toolcat because I really don't want to have to lift this thing up or push it. I guess I could just back it off and... Here, let me get you set up. We're just going to back it off the trailer. Oh, I forgot I have to run this thing. Brakes work. Yeah, it came off easy. Brakes work good. I gotta somehow push this. Gotta push this up. My brother's gonna, I think, help me push this into my garage. I gotta make room for it though. I got 2 UTVs in it right now, and I'm gonna add a third. Let me get my brother to help me push this in, and then we'll go to town. Alrighty, I just swapped out the battery. This battery that I took out of it was shipped in March of 2014. I will say, it is a John Deere battery. So I think they took good care of this thing. I mean, it looks nice. The problem that I'm having is, this was already kind of taken apart, fallen out, I should say. The ignition switch, I don't know the pinouts on it and what goes to where, but I was about to test these wires. So there's a red, black, blue and orange, and yellow. So blue and orange is probably your ignition coils, not going to ground. Black's your ground. Red is your power, and yellow is going to supply other things for accessory power. That's my guess. I haven't looked at a wiring diagram or anything for this thing. So we're gonna kind of go through this and just take a peek. I've got my multimeter on DC. I'm gonna stab my probe in there. And then on 12 volt, where I expect a 12 volt signal, I'm not getting anything. On the yellow, I'm not getting anything. So maybe I don't have a good ground. Nothing. Nothing. So I think there's a fuse somewhere on this Gator that is housing. Let me see if I can get you set up. Think over in this corner, right there.
is my fuse block. It's either a fuse block or a relay, one or the other. The diagram on it shows relay, so it's not that. It's not my fuse block. Is there a fuse somewhere else? Oops. Ooh, that's nasty. There's gotta be a fuse somewhere on this thing. Okay, well let's pause for a second. Alright, I don't know what's back behind here, but I bought a plastic welding kit off Amazon, and I'm gonna try to mend this back into shape and fix these cracks on it with the plastic welding kit. Plus then it gives me better access to the buttons and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and pull off this like 10 mil, 12s, and I think there's two 12s on the bottom here, underneath here. So let me get that pulled off, and then we will see what's under there. Well, not exactly what I wanted, but I mean, I'm glad I did it because that made it so much easier. So my power, hold on, my light's not there. All right, I didn't see any fuses on this wiring, so that means it probably goes underneath, down through here, underneath. Ooh, I gotta shine right. Down in there, and underneath, and comes back out for fuses. Or I might just Google it, try to figure it out. But I did get that wired, so that's my headlight switch, which was not sealing. And then this is my hour meter right here. Check these to get to my bulbs. Not too bad, and there's looks like there's already a power for the switch for the dump feature, which is cool. And then of course I took out my ignition switch. So, all right, let me try to figure out something and figure out where my fuses are, because I just don't know where they are, and I don't know these Gators well enough. I've done a couple things with them, but they've usually been aftermarket units, and they're not super solid or stock wiring. This one's actually got stock wiring, it seems like. So I'm happy with that, and we'll go ahead and get a few things torn apart and take a look. But I'm going to try to find that fuse before I bring you guys back, because I don't want you guys to waste time. So bring you back when I find the fuses. Well, here's why I have no power there. This wire is just completely missing. So I've exposed it. I'm going to splice in a bit of red wire right here. The blue wire, I've got new blue wire. I'm going to splice in probably and cut here and then cut here. Splice in a new piece so I can keep this original connector. The black wires are pre-shot, so we're going to probably splice in on this one. I got to look at the wiring diagram to figure out where it goes. So I think this goes to here. And then this goes up to here, or maybe this goes down to here. I don't know. That fan, yeah, it's going to be tight to splice onto, but I can get it. Basically, it's got to go through the circuit. So this is your power wire. Power goes through here to the fan. Goes to the temperature switch. The temperature switch is up here in the radiator. And it is a contactor, essentially. So when it's not up to temperature, it's open. And then when it hits temperature, it closes and completes the circuit. Pretty simple design. Diff lock. I got yellow wire. I'm going to fix these as well, because these are shot. And I got green wire too. I'm probably going to splice that, or I might just tape over it and make it a nice repair. Other than that, I think that's the only wiring issues I have. So I don't think you guys need to watch me do this, but we will come back in a minute when I have it all connected. Alright, moment of truth. I just spliced the wires back in, plugged the key switch in, and let's see. Yeah. Hey, that's what I like to see. Ignition and starting. And it sounds really good too. So let me get some things tidied back up.
The cooling fan, I don't want to run it until this thing's actually in position. So, or I don't want to wire it until it's in position because I really want to know where this will sit. And I want to run these wires in a way that they don't get pinched again, because I think that's what killed it. So, yeah, I think we're going to go underneath everything and just go from there. I might put some loom shrink on it just to protect it, or not. I still have to fix this right here, the diff lock wiring, but I can fix that in a jiffy. So the next thing we will do is we will probably disconnect the fuel hose and open up that and give it a little bit of ether and see if it starts. But first I want to put this back together and kind of clean up my mess. I'm probably going to leave the hood off just because I want to power wash this. I don't want to put this all back, but I want to at least get this floorboard picked up of all my tools. So that way I'm not messing with some stuff. So give me a bit. We'll be back when this is all squared away, and we'll start digging into this engine. So, all right, you didn't see me, but I just added a whole bunch of gas because I think in the initial video you guys saw me peek into the gas tank and it was completely bone dry, even though the gauge says it's still full. Choke lever is seized. I think since it was so empty, I think it was ran out of gas, and people didn't actually look because they said, oh, we have gas because of the gauge, and then it got parked, and then a mouse chewed the wires or something like that. So we've got fuel in there, fuel going to the carb, it sounds like. Holy moly. And I did check the oil when I looked at it, so I know it's got oil. That's a good little engine. Alright. I'm not going to run it anymore because I really want to change the oil before I do anything. I also haven't checked if it goes forward or backwards. I personally don't care too much right now. Just the fact that it started, it ran, it drove is amazing. And now all I have to do is button up this area down here, get that plastic pan put back on it. But I think first things first, I'm going to power wash the living daylights out of this sucker. And I might try to get that choke lever freed up. I just can't, I'm baffled at how easily and quickly this thing starts. Like, that thing is sweet. I mean, it looked like it was in good condition when I bought it, and there's a reason I went up to 1,000 on it, because I thought it had a good bones to it. Just needed some work. Electrical gauge, or hour gauge, it's not working, sadly. So, I don't know how many hours are on it, but the way it runs, I really think that it maybe has less than 1,000 hours on it, which is crazy. And the engine looks kind of like that. The body looks like it, the radiator, everything looks like it's got about 1,000 hours on it, I'd say. And the only reason I say that is because that tire and the front tires are not stock, or are the stock tires. These three are not, and I think that they just took them off. Sorry, guys. I think that's a factory tire on it, and usually about 1,000 hours gets worn out. And these about that same ratio, so I'm absolutely stoked. I just can't believe it. This thing I might spend the money and buy new fenders, new hood, new back fenders, because those are missing, and I'll have new seats on it, and this thing will be freaking amazing condition. We'll have to get it running a bit more, but that's a solid engine. like super solid. It just, I just can't believe it. $1,000. I'd say that's a good purchase there. A really, really good purchase right there. So we'll go through. We might back this out. I'm gonna try to get that a little bit. Might back it out and then actually power wash it today. It's about 35 degrees outside, so it's just above freezing, which will suck. But you know, boo hoo. I can deal with a little cold, especially if it means this thing gets cleaned up because it needs it bad. I also don't know if the water pump or thermostat's working right. I just know what you guys have seen. We will test it the rest of the way here in a bit, but I think first things first is to clean up the tools and get everything squared away. Try to get that choke lever adjusted, so that way. I just realized this. They put these on backwards. Oops. Oh well. I'll just get that choke lever freed up, and then we will back it out and go for a little power washing, and then I'll go buy a new oil filter, air filter, and other stuff for it. And that way I can put it back to good condition and kind of get it ready for selling, because I got one UTV, I got this thing, and I've got that UTV over there. So I really have no need for another one, which, go figure. But we will come back when I think we're ready to power wash, because I don't think you guys need to watch me mess with any of this stuff in here. So, all right, be back. Alright, well, it's definitely not perfect, but this is good enough to get me where I want to go. Come on. Just holding you up. There we go. There we go. It's back. Gas gauge is cleared up a little bit. You can see it now. The engine's cleaned up. Everything's cleaned up. I don't know. Oh, because it thinks I'm in drive. There's neutral. So it starts right up. This thing is freaking a good engine. And I mean, it's got some damage, don't get me wrong. Like that hood is just shot, but I'm going to probably order a whole new hood. Those fenders, of course, missing, but bed is pretty good. The bed cleaned up really nice. The bed liner, there's no rust on it. So I'm happy about that. Engine cleaned up good. Oh, pardon me for a second. Whew, sorry. That was heavy. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so now it's just missing seats and the hood. But I can probably pull it back inside and let it dry off and get the engine running and get it going. So I'm happy with this project. This thing's turned out really, really nice. So looks weird without the hood. I did power wash it to perfection just because I know I'm gonna have to go back again once I get the seats on and everything, because like that panel you can see it's just dirty. But I mean, this thing's not bad. I wish I could figure out why the hour meter is not exactly working great. I think it's just the hour meter's bad. That little basket thing here is broken off like they always do, because the only thing that holds it is this screw, just like that. So all right, well, I think I'm gonna pull it in and I know the oil's good. Let's go for a ride with no seat. I don't have a seat, so this is gonna be wet bottom. Ah! Woo, it's wet. Major flat spots. The brakes aren't that good. Hip lock, I think, works. The engine runs phenomenal. Get an oil filter. Don't want to run this over. Tooting down. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You guys think I should get a new shifter knob with all the moss growing on it for how long it's been sitting? Yeah, I'm amazed. I really wish this gauge would work, because I'd love to know the hours on it. I'm wondering if I can somehow maybe clean off the connections or something like that and go in there and actually like clean it or something. I don't know. Because it looks like it's trying to turn on. Oh, we do have lights too. That's awesome. Yeah, this thing's a nice little Gator. For 1,200, I'll have in it after I'm all said and done with buying the brand new seats on it. I'm probably not going to buy any new tires for it, just because I don't really want to spend money on tires. I mean, I guess I'll price the front tires, because that would be nice to have, because those are kind of bald. But really, this thing's going to be nice. Got $200 for tire or seats. I think it's $300 for the whole front fenders, hood, and that. I think that's $300. I think those are $100 a piece. So what? 1, 2, $500, $700. Plus, let's say $200 for tires. So $900 plus $1,000, $1,900. I'll be in this thing, and it'll look brand new. Pretty much. I mean, it's not gonna be, but it's gonna be better than it was. And it's gonna be nice. So I don't know what it'll sell for. That's where I'm kind of questioning. Maybe do I want to spend the money, $900 on it, or should I just plastic weld that hood back together, the existing one, call it good? I don't think it's gonna bring that much more money if I fix the hood, or if I replace the hood versus not replacing it and just fix it. I do need to get me a choke cable, because that one I think is seized beyond existence. So the engine didn't need choke to begin with to start, which was crazy. Normally I've always had to use choke on these. But I also need to get a gas gauge for it because it's dead. So, alrighty. Well, I think for right now we are going to call it quits. We got it running. We got it driving. Got it going well. I think I'll do this in a part 2 later to fix the hood, put the seats back on, and find the fenders maybe somewhere. I don't know. We'll see how this turns out. We might not even do it.